Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel. A lot of folks ask me to put out model prayers, and I have no problem doing that. But there is a trap here I want to warn you about. Too often we look for methods to get a certain outcome, because that's how the world trained us. You want an outcome, you look for the method. If you once want to be quiet, you either shout at someone or threaten someone with violence that you know they'll be quiet. You get what you want. So the method is violence, the outcome is you having your way. It works, and the world taught us to do things that work. Now, the world didn't only teach you violence, but the world is so centered on getting outcomes. The world is obsessed with it. And you need to unlearn this as a believer. When you renew your mind, you become Christ-centered. So you trust Christ, not the methods. Prayer works, but you shouldn't hold on to prayer. Now, this is something very important. When you hold on to prayer, prayer becomes your idol. It becomes a tool you go to feel safe and secure. Why? Because you rely on prayer now to get the outcomes you want, and you put your trust in those outcomes instead of in Christ. It can be that you have a financial situation and you have debt collectors coming after you, and you really want to get another job, or you want some miracle out of the blue to happen to make it all go away. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good desire. There's nothing wrong with it. But it can be that Christ does not want to eliminate the issue immediately, because Christ wants to show you something. Christ wants to show you the unbelief of those around you. That's why Christ tolerates that situation. So, when Christ has revealed unto you the unbelief of other people, now you realize that the financial situation isn't really the big problem at all. The real big issue is the unbelief of those around you. And now you see that some of those people will take you out if they had the chance, because they don't want to examine their own unexamined expectations. Some people just don't want to change. They don't want to be responsible. So they take out their frustrations on anyone they can find. And some of you had many of such people around you. You just didn't realize it. So when the financial difficulty came, it's then that the unbelief of the people was revealed. And Christ wanted you to see their unbelief. But if you're too focused on getting rid of the situation, you're so focused on finding the right methods. And then you are distracted from seeing what Christ is doing with you, or better, what Christ is doing for you. Because the financial situation, you perceive it as a Goliath, as a giant. You think I need to have faith to take it down. That is what some churches teach you. And it's true to some extent, but when you look at David's life, because he used David's life as a parable, Goliath was just a distraction. The real problems that David endured came from those close to him that held on to darkness, his own relatives, Saul, and the Israelite people. Those people kept financing the negative. If they didn't finance the negative, Satan couldn't persecute David so effectively. But Satan did, because Satan was financed. He had a lot of support, because people held on to the negative. So that was the real issue David was dealing with. Goliath was just a passing cloud. And that's what I'm telling you. Some of you are so focused on getting rid of passing clouds that you don't see what's really happening around you. Look, there's nothing wrong with having inspirational prayers. When people teach you how you can pray, there's nothing wrong with it. But be sure that you trust Christ and not the method. Because when you trust the method instead of trusting Christ, you are in idolatry. And when you're in idolatry, the devil has easy access to you, because you're not operating in faith anymore. You're operating in self-effort. You're operating in pride. So, when I tell you to agree with Christ, that's what I mean. I agree with him. That's why when a situation that's bothering you doesn't want to disappear, just realize it will disappear. It's not that your faith doesn't work. It's just that Christ wants to wants you to pay attention to something else that might be far more important, or better said, it is far more important. Because let me tell you, in the case of David, for his whole life was more haunted by the negative wills of the Israelite people than he was by Goliath. Goliath was a one-time shot. It was over. And too often we focus on the one-time shots. Often when it relates to financial difficulties or social difficulties, we look at the one-time shots instead of looking at the bigger picture. Now, I don't want you to have false victories that seem like something is solved but is really delayed. To walk by faith and be victorious, agree with Christ. Stop looking for the right church, the right pastor, the right type of prayers. Agree with Christ. And when you agree with Christ, the right type of prayers will come automatically. Yes, you can be inspired by the praise of others. There's nothing wrong with that, but trust Christ. That being said, be at peace.